can't remember sleeping on the summits, Volume 1. So he's already slept on the summits of all the 14ers in Colorado. Now he's documenting his latest adventure. Dr. John Kudrowski is skiing and sleeping on he already did this, skiing and sleeping on the summits of all the Cascade volcanoes. John is here to tell us all about it. Good to see you again, buddy.
Hey, what's happening,
yeah,
Chris?
this is all documented in the new book, which looks a lot like Volume 1, but this one's skiing and sleeping on the summits of the volcanoes. Tell us about what this is all about.
Yeah, you know, it all started here in Colorado, and it's the sequel. And a couple years ago, I went out to the Cascade volcanoes and said, well, why don't we camp on the summits of some of these volcanoes, shoot some incredible photography, and then get up in the morning and ski down these things. And so sort of went out and did it. Put the book together in the last year and a half, and now I'm out sort of touring and talking about the book and giving presentations.
You know, and really the headline for all this, and you gave us some amazing photos and video, was that you did all of them in 30 days.
Yeah, it was kind of a consecutive thing. I like to kind of put together projects with big goals in mind, and so initially it was sort of about going out and skiing as many peaks as possible, and of course with the weather allowing me to do as much as I could as long as the weather cooperated, which you know can be sometimes tough on these peaks.
Yes, and we're looking at some of your photos, and that's was that Baker right there?
Yeah, that's the top of Mount Baker. That's the top of Mount Thielsen. You know, a lot of people know about a bunch of the volcanoes in terms of Mount Rainier, Mount Baker, but I also took some time in Oregon and in Northern California. So this book covers 3 states going up the coast and sort of showcases this adventure. And the ski terrain's incredible. They get twice as much snow as we do here in Colorado.
Glaciers.
Yeah, and then there's lots of glaciers as well. So it's just a really fun way to ski and showcase the beautiful photography.
So that's the big difference. I mean, in the book that you and I did together with the 14ers, these are volcanoes. And you even in the book talk a lot about plate tectonics and how this stuff forms. It's very descriptive. You have graphs, you have things for readers to, you have different routes that you talk about. I mean, this is a varied book, like a guidebook.
Yeah, I kind of took it to the next level in terms of the amount of information in there, and even just the discussing the adventures and even the intricacies of like chopping out tent platforms, skiing the correct terrain, and then the meteorology was tied into it as well, as you know.
Yeah, I remember texting you about various forecasts, and you had was it Adams? You had lightning up on Adams on that one, and it was like a kind of a blue sky day, but you had just enough clouds.
So another sort of scare with lightning, making the skis hot and the tent sort of buzz and things like that. And so that's all sort of showcased in here as part 2 of the installment. And I'll be out here actually at the Tattered Cover tonight.
That's right.
And you're going to be there.
That's right, yeah. And we're seeing some of your video here, but I'll be at the Tattered Cover at 7 o'clock tonight, the one-off in Colfax, for a little introduction. We'll talk a little bit about weather as well, but if you're interested in that, we'll see you tonight at 7 o'clock. So thanks, John, for coming in, buddy.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Man. All right, guys, back to you.
We always love going on your adventures.
Yeah, live through them, right?
From home. And there's the book. Again, John will be at the Tattered Cover, and Chris will be out there as well. Looks terrific, as always. It's almost 8 o'clock. How about an Idaho family? They'd been waiting